Just last week, Indian Air Force showcased its war machine on the Eastern Front. And now it's time to move the Western frontier. Exercise Vayu Shakti 2026, Indian Air Force's spectacular testament of its roar of strength and precision, is panning out this week. On 27th of February, India's air warriors will present a compelling narrative of the operational readiness at the vast Pokhran air-to-ground range in Rajasthan's Jaisalmer.
Vayu Shakti 2026 is the Indian Air Force premier firepower demonstration, and it shapes into a very massive show of strength. And it is going to this year. It is going to start on 27th Feb, and rehearsal will be on 24th at famous Pokhran air-to-ground range in Jaisalmer in Rajasthan. Now, why it is so important, and why people look for this? Actually, this is a live fire display of the IAF's combat capabilities, and how we are planning our preparedness, how we are achieving this. This is a part of the basic center is that. Now, what are the objectives? The first thing is this exercise showcases the operational readiness of Indian Air Force. How we will conduct the full spectrum of operations, including day, night, and dusk missions, because timing of the firepower demonstration is planned in such a way. It starts evening hours and it flows into during night time.
More than a demonstration of hardware and ordnance, it would be a carefully choreographed display of doctrine, integration, and human skill. The motive of this exercise is not only showcase Indian Air Force's combat readiness, but also to inspire India's youth. On the face of it, an annual feature, the practice is integral to not only test Indian Air Force's firepower capabilities, but also send across a message.
There will be a certain amount of apprehension in Pakistan because, after all, let us not forget, there is a pause on as far as Operation Sindoor is concerned. And the Pakistanis, I would imagine that with such a large-scale exercise taking place on the Pakistani borders, the Pakistan Air Force and the entire Pakistan Armed Forces would be on a very high alert, lest some surprises pulled on them. I think they would also be watching this exercise very carefully, because they would want to see what are the new kind of tactics that the Indian Air Force is likely to deploy in future conflicts. And let's make no mistake about it, they would also be trying to look at what are the kind of countermeasures they can take. They will try and monitor every aspect of this particular exercise. But I would imagine there would be a lot of apprehension that there is nothing untoward which takes place at the time of this exercise. No surprise is pulled over them. They would certainly be looking at that.
Vayu Shakti would also showcase India's technological superiority over Pakistan.
Pakistan is the one thing he had got only Chinese equipments, whether the air defense equipments or the aircrafts or the radars, all of the Chinese. Chinese origin aircrafts are basically developed on the reverse engineering basis. They never had an independent thinking and something coming up new. So now their capabilities have already been tested during Op Sindoor. And whole world knows equipments what China claims. They are not, that capability is not that much, and they cannot produce the results what they claim. And it has been shown already in the Op Sindoor. So this is the practice that what Indian Air Force or Indian government, what are the equipments that are produced here? People have not taken them serious. Other countries have not been taking it seriously till the time we produce the desired results and hit all the targets with a pinpoint targeting pinpoint targets without carrying out any damage to any literal damage to any civilians. Pakistan should be clear that Chinese aircrafts on their inventory are not capable of taking on the Indian Air Force inventory, which is a combined of Russian, French, and and even UK Jaguars are there, and all the aircrafts have been suitably modified with the EW equipment, because all the wars are new, are a very important. EW equipment is a very important aspect of modern warfare, and India is also trying to test their drones, UAVs, which are going to play a major role in the Pakistan war. That should be a clear-cut message from the Pakistan. We are strong, and they should not venture out. They should not try anything. They should not try anything against India, because that will harm them much more than what was done in the earlier phases.
The exercises would showcase various platforms and weapons that line IAF war machine.
More than 10,000 kgs of explosives will be demonstrated in front of everybody. Now, the attraction definitely is Rafale is our hero of the event, as Vice Chief covered in event last week. And Tejas, Su-30 MKI, Mirage, Jaguar, MiG-29s, and all fleet of Indian Air Force. And helicopters definitely are indigenous Prashant, then Apache, Chinook, and ALH Mark 4, Mi-17, V5, which is the mountain operated operations expert, and in addition the heavy airlift capabilities like C-17 Globemaster, Charlie 130 Super Hercules, and the newly inducted the C-295, which is made in India only. Now, the Akash and Spider surface-to-air missiles plus counter unmanned aerial systems will be also demonstrated. So it is a pure grand finale for everything. What is our capability and how Indian Air Force is touching the sky. So it is a full power air power which is demonstrated in front of everybody, so that people can appreciate Indian Air Force is not only planning or talking, it is able to demonstrate what they plan.
Geopolitically speaking, being the first exercise after Operation Sindoor, it is bound to leave a mark on the Pakistani soil.
Look at the new doctrines of the Indian Air Force, especially if you read the reports about this particular exercise. Some of the assumptions under which the Air Force was working last time around, I don't think those apply anymore. And from what we have read and heard about this particular exercise, this time the next offensive will be on the basis of the doctrinal approach of the government of India, which is that there will be no distinction made between terrorists and their masters, which means the Pakistan Armed Forces. So I think both will be taking place, and they will be looking at it very carefully.
Special element this year would be the showcasing of Operation Sindoor weaponry, the missiles and the rockets that played havoc with Pakistani targets.
So this is the way, this is one of the procedures or nothing that we revalidate and see whether we are capable or not. And any shortcomings, we try to improve it and do it again. So routine exercise, it shows our air power, it shows our firepower, it shows everything to the world that we are capable, and at the same time, how many aircrafts can we launch. Air Force, India, any Air Force can have so many aircrafts in the strength, but do they have capability to launch so many aircrafts at one time in the air for our achieving our missions and goals? So this will have an impact and show that Air Force is ready for any eventuality, and the clear-cut signal to both the adversaries in the west and also in the north. The Air Force, Indian Air Force cannot be taken lightly, and what is performing and how it is re-equipping it itself, how we are doing it other thing, and how we are keeping pace with the development in the technology of other air forces.
Witnessing India's air might would be not just those in the forces, but the world, through their ambassadors and defense attaches. The spectacle of integrated high-tempo operations coupled with the stories of skill, discipline and dedication of our air warriors would form an inspirational narrative for young Indians considering service to the nation through the Indian Air Force. By demonstrating the ability to conduct long-range targeting, precision strikes and integrated air defense suppression, the Indian Air Force sends a clear message about its capacity to shape the battle space and deny adversaries freedom of action. While Vayu Shakti showcases globally sourced platforms such as the Rafale and C-17, alongside Russian origin Su-30 MKI and MiG-29s, it would also highlight India's growing indigenous capabilities, most notably the Tejas fighter and the LCH Prachand helicopter, including artilleries like the M777 and surface-to-air guided weapons such as Akash and Spider for layered air defense. This dynamic demonstration not only showcases the IAF's capacity to generate decisive effects across land, sea, air and cyber domains, but also underscores a transformative shift towards self-reliance. With indigenous platforms and homegrown technologies executing complex missions in lockstep with the visionary drive of Aatmanirbhar Bharat. Fueled by the uncompromising ethos encapsulated in the core values Aachook, Abhedya or Sateek, the Vayu Shakti exercises would project confidence, deterrence and operational excellence.